I mean, poker's not a sport. That's a game. That's a tabletop game. I mean, that's just not a sport. I mean, if that's a sport, then chess is a sport.
What is baseball? They're games.
I think sports have to involve your body in a physical way, I think.
Like arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling is a sport. Arm wrestling is a sport.
You don't think this is physical? You don't think that's physical? Look at this. Fanning out the cards. I'm fanning out the cards.
I don't think so. I don't think that counts. Your body doesn't... Anybody in poor shape can do that. Now, you have to be in good mental shape. I mean, and obviously...
What am I doing? What am I doing here?
I don't know. Petting the back of someone's bump on their head after they got hit with a baseball bat. You know, that baseball bat kind of came up and you're kind of massaging their bump. You know what I mean? They got hit with a baseball bat.
Chips. I'm counting my chips.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look like that. It looks like you're just massaging someone's bump, a man's bump. Your body needs to do some work, I feel like, you know. And I'm not just talking your fingers or, you know, it's your bumps or whatever, you know. Otherwise, it's a different thing. Racing is not a sport. Come on. By the way, let me say this. I have wrongly played fishing tracks on previous sports episodes.
No,
you say wrongly.
We're not wrong. Never say you're wrong.
Brent, it was okay. It was okay.
You're massaging my bump, as you say.
It was okay,
Brent. It was okay, Brent. It was okay. You can play fishing tracks on sports episodes.
Well, as an Alaskan who did fish, and there was a lot of fishing there, it was very sporty. A lot of competitions.
Close my argument with one more example. Not the music a little bit?
By the way, I like this track a lot.
I wanted to play a certain track, but you said it wasn't a sport, and not yet.
Wait.
This particular track, not yet, but I will tell you right now, there is a petition to get it into the Olympics, and it's got serious traction. And that is, maybe very soon, the sport of bingo.
Rob sent me this tracks, and he forgot that it was a sports episode, is what happened. And so he goes, this is what he said. He goes, I said, "Oh, did you forget that it was a sports episode?" He did have a one up. I mean, this is a little bit of a spoiler.
I get it. So you try to like cover it.
He goes. He had one boxing track in there, and then he had these other tracks in there, and they weren't sports games. And I said, "Oh, did you forget it was a sports episode?" And he said, "Oh, shoot, I did." He said, "Well, three of them are sports already, so And then I said, I said, I'm only seeing one here.
Sonic collects rings. That's kind of
Well, he goes, and I knew he was going to say this too. He goes, the boxing game, okay, whatever. I expected, And then he goes bingo, and then the other one that he was saying was a sport was this pinball game. It was a video pinball.
If poker is a sport, then bingo 100% is a sport.
That means that any board game is a sport. Any board game, okay? So sorry, that's a sport now. If that's a sport. Sorry's a sport, okay? Candyland, sport. Oh yeah, I'm an athlete. I play Candyland.
Brent, there's something else you probably don't want to know about me. You don't want to know about me.
If you want to share, that is.
Are you asking me to?
Yeah, all right. I ask you this.
Shoots and ladder kumite.
Shoots and ladder what?
Kumite.
The side of me I'd never thought I'd talk about, but here we are.
Did you suffer any head injuries from that?
Who?
That made you start thinking board games are sports? If somebody suffers head injuries from shoots and ladders, then I don't blame them for thinking that shoots and ladders is a sport,